Good night. I'm Gene Lee Peaches. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Gene Peaches. Alfredo sauce is one of my favorite pasta gravies. Imagine the awakening my little taste buds must have had when they discovered that there were things to put on pasta that weren't tomato and sadness. Instead of candy, it was Alfredo sauce that Mama kept telling me to take out of the damn cart at a supermarket. That's all I needed as a kid. A jar of Alfredo, a loaf of bread, Saturday morning cartoons, and my little footy pajamas. That was a whole mood. But before I go any further, if you're new, finger that little subscribe button. You'll want to come back because I'm more entertaining than a swamp full of donkeys. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back, huh? Fix yourself a drink, set your seat, get yourself comfortable, and pick your drinking game. I'm going to show you how to make a thick and creamy Alfredo sauce. Now me and Alfredo, we go way back, child. It was something that made it feel like you were having to bake macaroni and cheese without going through the extra effort of baking or macaroni. It's kind of like the stuff that came in a box too, but you didn't have to mix the powder. It just came in a jar. Open it, pour it. It's just cheese. And because I'm June Peaches, I don't do my Alfredo sauce ordinary. One of my friends calls it Alfredo sauce because he said Georgia's about as close as it's been to Italy. I've never been to Georgia either. Let's take a look at mise en place, which is French for get your shit together. If you're an Italian grandmother, you're probably looking at all these extra ingredients wondering what the hell I'm trying to do. But as an Italian grandmother, you wouldn't be here for this recipe if you knew how to cook. So just listen up. Much like a traditional Alfredo sauce, I start by heating butter in a saucepan over medium high. The most important thing in making an Alfredo sauce is to have all your ingredients ready. The mise is a good tool to help with efficiency in the kitchen. It's like a speed rack at the bar. Get the stuff when you need a hat. Whatever. Just get your shit together. Because once the butter's ready, it's next two steps are going to be faster than pre-shallot speed. Shallot. Garlic. Stir them around real quick to get them cooked in. Then we add the flour. And with this, we're just basically making a nice little long roux. You're basically just cooking the flour through to get that raw flour taste out. Not long. Then we stir in our half and half. And you're going to want to get that mixed in really good so you don't have any clumps. Because there's nothing worse than a lumpy Alfredo. Once that's all mixed in and smooth, then we add in our seasonings. Salt and pepper, and crushed red pepper. It's like a horse and carrots. You can't have one without the other. So now, we just wait for this all to come to a simmer. I'm going to lower the heat so I can run my mouth. Once upon a time, I called myself going to a fancy New York City Italian restaurant. Well, it wasn't fancy, but it was a restaurant in Little Italy with actual tablecloths. I ordered the chicken Alfredo because that's how addictions work. It was calling my name, and before I knew it, I was saying this name to the waiter. Long story short, the waiter arrives with the dish and asks if I needed anything else. Garlic powder, please. I knew he went back in that kitchen and talked shit about me, probably the same way I talked shit about that flavorless Alfredo sauce after we left the restaurant. But forgive my taste buds for knowing what they need. But I get it now. I wouldn't put garlic powder on anything other than pizza at the table either. But middle finger to him. I've got garlic on my Alfredo, which is far more savory than whatever that big city restaurant was serving. The sauté in the butter does the double duty of developing the flavor of the garlic as well as giving a vehicle for that appetizing flavor to drive around in. What we have here now is a version of Bechamel's Italian cousin. I call her Barber Mel because she gonna hit your taste buds like a bolt of lightning. You'll probably only get that joke if you were traumatized by Catholic Sunday school. And I'm raised Baptist, died in the wool, beached in the streets. But to make this Alfredo, we gotta add the cheese because, after all, that's what makes this white sauce special. Parmesan, the thing that makes this not a cacio e pepe because that's done with pecorinos. At least that's how I do it. I'm sure y'all seen no commercial where she talks about how she loves bread. Well, that mood is me with cheese, so consider it a blessing that I'm not lactose intolerant. I love me a cheesy sauce. The cheesier the better, in fact. If it weren't for cheese's ignorance to stay liquid when you heat it, I wouldn't add no milk at all. But Parmesan is particularly ornery and wanting to melt like a cheese should. So unless you want to find your wish stuck to what's in it and the pan itself, keep the golden ratio in mind. 2 parts half and half to 1 part Parmesan. Otherwise, you get to watch a physics lesson. Still liquid turn everything that it looks at into a solid. It's like the Midas touch, but with cheese. And that's not too terribly unwantable either. But I make these mistakes, so you don't have to. Who am I kidding? I don't make mistakes, but if I did, it would be so you don't have to. And Valhalla, there you have it, an Alfredo sauce. Let's give this a taste and see if you need nothing else. Nice and thick. Nice thick. Oh, there's still some left on the spoon. I'll be back. Yeah. So that's the Alfredo sauce. You can throw it on some linguine, toss it with some squumps and some chickens or whatever, or just stop being basic and tune in next week to see what else you can do. In the meantime, I'll just be over here with some potato bread and this Alfredo sauce living my best life. I might even skip the potato sauce and just take a straw. I hope you enjoy it nevertheless. If you learned something, hit that thumbs up button. You deserve it. If you didn't learn nothing, well, what can I say? I'm not an educator. Google. You won't find that word anywhere near mine, but click the thumbs up anyway. Tell your friends, spread me around, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little thingy to make it go dingy. See you next Tuesday. Butterfly kisses and hot sauce wishes. This is June. Alright, come on now. Let's get out this bitch.